Hi everyone, I'm Alex. I'm one of the volunteer and partnerships director for the BBC. I'm the one alongside with America coordinating the Luskin event and also a little surprise event that we're gonna announce today. But I just wanted to set forth some questions that we've been getting about Luskin. Um, Primarily the deadlines for it, primarily the TB test, the COVID test, if I can get exempt for it, all of that. And I'm going to go over some of the questions and concerns that went over that. So let's start with the TB test. The TB test, the most recent that we need, that Luskin needs, is within 90 days. Um, that's their requirement. I know some people um, had from December of 2024, so it would be try to calculate 90 days. If not, you can definitely set an appointment with the ASH Center or with your own clinic. That was another question that raised whether or not if it can't be with the ASH Center, if with my own clinic, that works. What's happening, which I discussed today with Luskin, is that they understand that appointments can take a long time, so they won't push to an extremity of like we want it by this set date. Preferably, what they would want is that they would like to have it before the 21st of February, which is when their orientation will start. Um, that's for TB testing. Um, what else about TB testing was a different concern? I think that's pretty much it. It was within 90 days. It could be your own clinic, Ash Center, create your appointment, and that's that. HIPAA training. HIPAA training, we will provide you the link for HIPAA training. I have the link. Through UCLA. What they would like is to have everything before orientation, which is February 21st. And how we are going to do that is that we already formalized, have our list of people who are interested in Luskin. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send that list to Luskin. And then Luskin is going to reach out to you individually, um, asking you for the requirements like their culture certification, their HIPAA certification, their TB testing, their COVID card, all of that they're going to be asking you as long as your schedule and an application to be filled out, which is just basic information about yourself, like what's your major, where do you come from, um, name, birth, all that stuff. That would be once you get an email from Luskin asking you from their stuff. Now, you do get a quiz of from the HIPAA training. It's really short. It shouldn't take more than 10 minutes. The HIPAA training shouldn't take more than 15 minutes. It's really short. It's a video. Um, that's that. Another question that we had was that okay, currency of TB testing, that was one. Vaccine proof. You can be exempted from the vaccine. You do not need to have the COVID vaccine, but you do need to have a religious affiliation or a health concern. It needs to be like a letter signed by your doctor or someone who, um, a pastor, if it's religious reasons that you can't get the COVID vaccine. That is that you would have to provide once you get the requirements from Luskin and would send it back saying that I want for this and that because of religious affiliation or because of my health. That's another question that was really important. Right? If I'm going too fast, you guys can let me know in the chat or like any of Ruby or Jenna can let me know. Okay, so that I just got a question in the chat. All right, citizenship or internationality. I can definitely get back to you on that. I do not know if 100% you need to be a US resident to have this opportunity. I know some programs are not 100% like US citizency affiliated, and you can if you are DACA or you do not have legality status, you can definitely still participate. I can get back with you on that. I will personally message anyone who has that question, so you can definitely reach out on Discord um, if you have that situation, and I can get back to you. I will also be communicating through Discord about that specific topic. Let's see, mini group chat. I can, yeah, this is gonna be my email. Um, it's Alex, how recent is the COVID? How recent does the COVID vaccine need to be? I wouldn't say 2019. If you can get a booster, great. I wouldn't say 2019, but I can double check on you with that. Um, because of that, don't get another because I told you to get another booster. I am not gonna like encourage you to do something that you don't want to do. If you give me a day, possibly tomorrow, to just get back on you on that. So already two topics. So citizenship and how recent. If you completed back to October, if you did a HIPAA certification on October, you're great. You essentially want to do that HIPAA certification every year. I did my certification of HIPAA in October. A lot of students don't or haven't done the HIPAA certification, and that's when they're required to do it. However, if you did it on October, or let's say if it's not going to expire, if it's in February, please do it again. If it's like in April, please do it again. Because the hour commitment that you're going to have to be putting at Luskin is 100 hours, and that's 4 hours a week, right? So we don't want you guys to be volunteering and then being required to do it again to submit your another HIPAA certification. Just get it off the start. You do not, as for certifications, you do not need to be CPR certified or BLS certified. That is not what they're required to do, what you are required to do. I know CPR is a different process. There's resources here at UCLA that definitely do CPR classes for $35, I believe. But you do not need to be CPR certified and BLS certified. But essentially, it helps you um, as an emergency in case of an emergency BLS certification. Um, let's see, what else was another topic? It was, let's see, I have a list up here. Um, oh, proof. Okay, so someone asked if Ash Center verification was enough for a COVID card. If I strongly, strongly, strongly encourage you guys to take a picture of your COVID card and then submit it to them once they ask for it, because that's their proof. If you have ASH center verification or verification through your clinic and not your COVID card physically, let's say you're from Michigan and you're out of state, you left your COVID card over there, like I am not going to make you go to Michigan back and get your COVID card. That's 100%. Okay. So it's like, email me personally about that. It's in the chat. It's alexmartinez14@g.ucla.edu. And then you can email me to remind me about that. I will definitely get back to you tomorrow if you reply back. So that's three topics. One was the um, citizenship. The other one, the how long, how recent of the COVID vaccine, and three is already proof. Let's see. It's already. To be okay, yeah. This Ash Center, that was another one. And I but okay. Orientation. Remember, orientation is on the 21st of February at 5 o'clock p.m. at their facility, Luskin, OIC. It's on a Friday. I know that a lot of people might not be able to make it. So what they're trying to do and what we talked today was that if you won't be willing to make it, we will write your name down. Um, and we will work with Luskin and see if we can do a makeup orientation. That is not 100% confirmed, but that's something that we can definitely work on. So if you can't make it on the February 21st, or you can't because of that reason, because of the orientation, which is required, um, we can definitely write your name down and make sure that we can see if we can make a makeup orientation. Now, that is mostly all the questions that we got from Luskin. If you have any other questions from Luskin, you can definitely put it in the chat or privately message me or Ruby or Jenna, and then they can send it to me about any other questions related to Luskin. I would just like to go over uh, scheduling a bit for Luskin. So as for Luskin, their shifts are from 8 to 12 p.m. and 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Monday to Friday. They have a 30-minute forgiving grace period. If you are late at your shift, you have 30 minutes to be late. Okay. They understand we are UCLA students and we are commuting. Bless your hearts. So we have a 30-minute like grace period. And that's Monday to Friday. That's that would be your weekly shifts. Now, a lot of people were asking me, even myself, is what are you guys going to be doing over there at Luskin? And that's what they're going to be going over in orientation. But I can definitely give you a little bit of specs of what it is that you're going to be doing. So essentially, you're going to be doing welcome desks for 3 weeks. What do you do is you're going to be working a welcome desk, greeting the patients, greeting the family members, and assigning them to where they need to go. You're going to have a sheet in front of you saying what building is this building, and you won't get confused. There's also a binder with the Wi-Fi password, like phone numbers if you need to call. You can definitely do work there. A lot of people like to take the welcome test because if they're doing like 4 hours of a shift and the welcome test gets slow, you can definitely do your homework. They 100% encourage you to do your homework during your shift. That's a welcome desk. After welcome desk, there's two desks, Luskin and another building right next to Luskin, which is the UCLA affiliated. That's the adult building. There's two desks. After that, you are then moved to urgent care. Urgent care, there you are assigned to do the beds, work with nurses, possibly work with doctors, um, not taking vitals, none of that stuff. Okay, that's a lot further, but it's more like making the beds, um, forming trying to organize the utility room, possibly the medication room. That's urgent care. And then from urgent care, you're moved into patient recreation, which patient recreation is you have this cart full of like arts and crafts, and you go to the lobby at urgent care at their fracture center, and you try to do arts and crafts with the patients, um, and that's patient recreation. Another station after patient recreation is fracture center. Fracture center is more of an observational opportunity and helping opportunity. Um, and that's when you help and see how a cast is put on a kid, possibly the removal of a cast, but it's mostly observational. And then another one is rehab. Now, a lot of our volunteers at Luskin like to do um, rehab because what you do is that you're with the nurse, right? And then with the nurse, you're with the patient. The nurse is doing, rehab simulations, rehab experiments, or exercises. That's the word. Exercises for the patient, and you help the nurse record the time of what the exercise is, or record the intensity, or record this, or you interact with the patient. All of this, you're interacting with people, so it's a lot of like face to face. Um, so I know I said um welcome desk, urgent care, and all that stuff. And once I said urgent care, patient rec, fracture center, it differentiates. Like I completely forgot how it goes, but it can either change from like patient rec to fracture center or patient rec to like rehab. It depends. One of the key things is that, and this is what they're going to be talking in orientation, is that let's say urgent care is like their not urgent care, sorry, welcome desks are their priority. It's their big priority. Let's say I'm assigned for urgent care and our other executive member, Ruby, is assigned for welcome desk, and Ruby doesn't show up. So what I have to do is that I have to go to welcome desk. I go down a position to welcome desk to cover for her. That's their big priority, and that's what they'll go over in orientation, definitely on the 21st. And that's a little bit of the roles of Luskin. They do also have observational shadowing. What they have, you need to do a commitment, I believe, of 60, 80, or 100 hours. And then you can definitely talk to the foundation office, which is also the volunteer services of Luskin. And then you can definitely see what opportunities they have. Let's say your shift is slow and you're in urgent care and they tell you there's nothing to do. Then you can come back to foundation's office services and be like, they said it's too busy. Oh no, it said it's not busy. It said it's not busy. And then they'll be like, okay, do you want to go to a different station? Or if they're too covered, then be like, do you want to shadow a doctor? That's really cool. Um, they are trying to establish a college shadowing program this year. So I'll be in the loop of that, telling you guys all about it. Um, I'm an intern there. Just that's why I keep saying we. I'm an intern at Luskin, and we're working around the clock to try to get that established possibly this summer um, for our college volunteers. That's Luskin for you. That's pretty much it. The commute is a long commute, but I would say it's worth it. It's a lot of rotations and all of that. And it's pretty fun. You interact with a lot of people. They also have special events. You can also volunteer for those. They have their book drive coming up this month in February, I believe the 20th something. I think during orientation, the week orientation. That's cool. They also have several another event during the summer where it's like a camp where you're with a patient and you're just having activities with them. All of this that I'm saying, if it's too quick, they'll definitely go over it during orientation. That's pretty much Luskin. Does anyone have any questions about that, or was I going too fast? You need me to repeat anything? Um, um, so distance-wise, Luskin is a pretty far distance. Um, um, I can double check for you.
I
Let's
can
see.
I can
You can
put the address in the chat.
Okay, so
There.
you can put the address. Ruby can do that. Thank you, Ruby. Um, but yeah, so from wherever you want to go, I would say it's an estimate, depending on your shift. If your shift's at 8 in the morning, you probably will have traffic. And if your shift's at 12, you probably have less traffic. Um, yeah, it's the address is right there. They offer parking. So if you do have a car, they can definitely park at their parking structure. You would also need to fill out a parking form, which they would then send to HR, then they give you a pass. So no worries about that. It's a long commute, but in the end, it's worth it. If you are still interested in Luskin, I do not know if the form is still active. Is the form still active, Ruby?
Yes, it is.
Okay. The form is still active to show interest in Luskin. Ruby and Jenna can definitely share
Wait,
that.
I thought the form is not active. They would have to message Nancy to confirm. Um,
Oh yeah,
I don't know if we have like a
the interest
divider
form.
saying, yeah, who already filled it out and
Oh,
who
okay.
like
They
because
can
she already
email
like
they can email
yeah.
our us at Brew and Buddies. Sure, I'll put our email. If they still want to participate in Luskin, they can email us personally and we'll tell Nancy. But yeah, they would also have to pay the club fee due because I know many people didn't. So if they still haven't, they would have to do that as well. But I can put our
Or or can also DM on Instagram. Um,
Mhm. Yeah.
and that is also another way that we can confirm that you're interested.
Great. You guys. As I said earlier, and I can just serve this as a reminder, everything that you are collecting, which is your TB test, your COVID card or your COVID exemption, your HIPAA, all of that, you're going to be sent an email from Luskin asking you to do it. So, like, just prepare yourself, is what I'm trying to say. Prepare yourself to have your TB test done. By the time you already get an email from them, or to have you'll do the culture certification. Culture certification is their link to do it. And this certification is like for sensory. Kids who have sensory issues or sensory disabilities. Sorry, it's really loud in here. Sensory. Um, that's through them. That is when they send you their email. So you get an email from them, you just send everything. I would hope we are trying to send this list to Luskin possibly this week. So you can get your email from Luskin possibly the same week too. So you can get your certificate, your emails and whatever you need to be for, which is your requirements to be done. And yeah. So we're not going to be giving you anything like the culture certification link. Well, Luskin will provide that for you. Um, and also the HIPAA too. So yeah, that's Luskin. Any more questions? Or was I confusing? If you will.
I guess you can
Cool.
can you clarify like the deadlines for all of these?
Yeah, so the deadline initially, what they would like, really, really like, is to have everything done before orientation, the 21st. So mark down your calendar, orientations on the 21st. And if you can have everything done beforehand, that would be great. Again, so Luskin would be sending you an email with all the links for you to do. They would also send you a link, an email, asking about your schedule. So they work around your schedule. If you can only do once a week, that's fine. If you can only do 2 weeks, that's fine. But please commit to a 4 hour shift. Please don't do 2 hours. It's really hard to organize 2 hours. I know I do that. People don't show up, and then it's just like, bruh. So please commit to a 4 hour um shift. Um, I think that's it, right? I think we're gonna move on to a little, yeah, Monday to Friday. Okay, so Monday to Friday, and they close at 5 p.m. So the shifts are only available from 8 to 12 p.m. and 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Why not 4 to 5? 4 to 5 is only reserved for their high school students, which is the orthopedic high school right next to Luskin OIC. So their the high school right there, they have their own students, and those students volunteer at Luskin, so they have their own shift. So college students won't like take control of it because we also have USC volunteers at Luskin OIC. Since it's right next to Luskin OIC, um, they definitely volunteer a lot there. No weekends, though. No weekends. Sorry. Okay. I think that's it for Luskin. If you still have any more, great, thank you. Um, I think we can move on with a little bit of an announcement that we have that we've been working on, and that's going to be available next month. So, Bruin Buddies is excited to announce that we are going to be having an event, which is a volunteer opportunity at Cedar Sinai. Um, that was definitely most awaited. It is going to be at Cedar Sinai, but specifically, this volunteer opportunity is going to be doing arts and crafts, solely arts and crafts at the PICU or Pediatrics Hospital that they have, which is Cedar Sinai Guerin, Guerin apostrophe S, I believe, hospital. That is going to be established in March. So we are having like our 1 month trial. They would like to have 2 days a week for volunteers, so much less of a scheduling. And it's only going to be 3 volunteers for one 4 hour shift. Um, so that would be 3 volunteers on a Tuesday, let's say, and then 3 volunteers on a Thursday, and then next week, um, it's only 3 volunteers, another 3 volunteers. Now, the days are not finalized. The shift times are not finalized. One thing that we are going to be having alongside with Cedars is that these three groups of people are going to be needing to have the same shift at the same time. Like I said, I don't know. We're trying to work that with volunteer services. The interest form was actually released yesterday. I don't know if anyone saw that in Discord. We are trying to get an estimate of numbers of like who would like to be interested to do this Cedars volunteer opportunity doing masterclass with the kids. We're trying to get that by Friday. Um, so this week. I know it's midterms week. Um, I understand that. Yeah, by Thursday. Yes, by Thursday, I believe it's 12 p.m., I think. Thursday, 12 p.m. Yeah. Because we're trying to submit this list by Friday. Um, and get it established in March. So we can do an orientation for those interested in Cedars, um, go through the process of what a PICU is, because in this orientation, you will be walking around the PICU, and they just want us to have volunteers kind of experience it before they're 100% committed to it. Um, because they understand that a PICU is different than a pediatrics station. It's much different than a pediatric station, so they want their volunteers to like feel that this is right for them, that this is what they would like to continue to do. Um, that's nearly new, and we've been working really hard on that. The volunteer department at BPC has been working really hard. As also the executives have been working hard. Everyone's been working really hard. Marketing at BPC, we've all been working alongside this. Everyone's had to say in this, and we're very excited to announce this. Um, what else can I say about it? Orientation. I don't know if you are currently a volunteer at Cedar Sinai, and once you submit the interest form and once we get back to you, if you are a Cedar Sinai volunteer already, please make note of that. We are going to make note of that because volunteer services is considered. Whether or not we have some volunteers who are already volunteers for Cedar Sinai, um, the address for Cedars, Ruby, can you do that?
Sorry, oh, the address.
Uh,
Yeah, I can.
yeah. So Cedars Sinai is relatively much closer to UCLA compared to Luskin. But I would like to say that it's totally different what you're going to be doing compared to Luskin. Luskin, it's like more hands-on. You're doing different stations, your urgent care, front desk, fracture center, rehab, and then Cedars is just arts and crafts, which is very significant. But a lot of people are interested more on Luskin, or some people are interested in Cedars. And I would just like to say that there's like a division between like both. That's what sets them separate. Um, and these arts and crafts activities would be approved before they would be approved by the Associate Director of Pediatrics, either the Associate Director of Pediatrics, either child specialist, or either volunteer services. So we will have a list of arts and crafts, let's say arts and crafts projects for you guys to do like origami. Let's say we're doing origami, then we would send a list to Cedars saying we're going to be doing origami. This is what we're going to be getting. We're going to be getting our own supplies. So as volunteers, you are not going to need to be purchasing supplies like scissors or crayons or anything like that. We, BBPC, are working with fundraising alongside with marketing, alongside with advocacy, alongside everybody to fundraise more money for this opportunity that we are having because I trust me 100%. If you look at any other club right now, I don't think there's any other club affiliated with UCLA. And well, we're not affiliated with UCLA in a sense, but affiliated with Cedars who has an opportunity like this. So take 100% advantage of it. I would too. Yeah, one thing to make note of is that you and kind of don't want to be switching between Luskin and Cedars. What we would like to have is for you guys to be committed to 100% one thing, and to be either Cedars or Luskin. And one of the main issues is that scheduling might be a big deal for might be a big problem for that because let's say you're scheduled for Monday on Luskin, and then that Monday we're also having our three group of people. Um, to go to Cedars, then if you are scheduled on Monday and you want to do one of the things, you're gonna have to be dropping one thing. And it's gonna be either a consistency, because like I said, we don't know what day we're gonna be doing, we don't know what time we're gonna be doing, but they just were like three volunteers, 1 4 hour shift. One day, three volunteers, 1 4 hour shift the next day. So what we're highly, highly encouraging is to have one opportunity that you're having. If um yeah, just one opportunity that you are having. That's new. That's 100% new. You guys are the first ones to hear about it. You all 28 people are 100% the first ones to know. For you guys watching the recording. So yes, we are being a volunteer opportunity at Cedars. Fill out the interest form If you're interested, if you're not interested, it's okay. If you're interested in Luskin, do it. If you're not interested, it's okay. And yeah, does anyone have any other questions about Cedars?
Um, but I do have a question. So people are
Yeah.
allowed to do both as long as it doesn't interfere, right? Or no?
I said you don't highly encourage you don't do that. Just because it's gonna like set a lot of like scheduling problems. But let's say if you do fill out an interest form for Cedars and you do fill out an interest form for Luskin and you already confirmed that you're going to Luskin, then I guess I would personally reach out to you and make sure that you can do both, you know, just
Also,
for it to be great. So I'll take the liberty of doing that. If you fill out both, go ahead. But just know that you're gonna be getting an email from me asking, like, are you sure about this? Like, you sure? But yeah. But we would like to have one and one, just one volunteer definitely to Luskin and one volunteer definitely to Cedars. It frees up space for the other member to do what he can only do or she can do or they can do. Um, it's like giving up a seat for another person who might really need it. Um, but yeah, any other questions?
I want to add that depending on how many people are interested in Cedars, we'll see whether members will be able to do both because we do want
Mhm.
at least what every member that is interested in volunteering to have either a spot at Luskin or Cedars. So yeah, we'll see how many people are interested, and we'll also see whether we need to like rotate people with the Cedars opportunity because it might not be every week for everyone to go. I want to note that the Cedars opportunity is a um, trial opportunity for 1 month. So after 1 month, we'll be talking with Cedars to see if we'll continue to offer our volunteering services there.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Does anyone have any other questions? Yeah, so 100% on that note, what Ruby just said.
Do you guys have any other questions that you would like us to answer?
Wait, sorry, I have one more clarifying thing. Do you know if there's going to be like a onboarding application process like there is with Luskin, but with Cedars? Like, are they going to have to do an orientation? Are they going to have to fill things out with Cedars also?
Um, I would say yeah. I would say yes. There's going to be an application. There's going to be also COVID requirement, I believe, also flu vaccine requirement. So all these same requirements, I accept the HIPAA, I think, um, would be
There's also
required.
HIPAA. I
Um,
think there's also HIPAA.
There's also HIPAA, right? Okay,
Yeah, there's
also a
also.
HIPAA. But flu, COVID, HIPAA, that's another thing that would be need to be required. That would need to be required. However, I don't have the application form. I don't have a list of what they will like. I don't have what it will look like. Like I said, we're still like trying to finalize this, trying to get a list of how many people are interested for volunteer services to then work with us to be like, you know what, this is our day for orientation. This is what we're looking at in our application. This is our application. This is our uniform policy. Because I believe they do have a uniform policy. I don't know if they're going to implement that uniform policy on us, um, which I believe they would. But that we would need a little bit more time. I need a little bit more time to get that done. Probably in the end of this month. So then we can possibly start in March. Um, Mid-March, I would say. Mid-March, possibly at the end of March. But they are definitely eager to have us there. I talked to the associate director, I talked to child specialists. They said that they definitely had something like this pre-COVID, but post-COVID, they didn't have anything and they're just welcoming us with open arms. Yeah, does anyone have any other questions? All right. I think I think that's it for the. So this is our optional meeting. Um, that's pretty much it, guys. If you guys have any other questions, I left my email on the chat. I could just write it up again.
We'll also be putting the sign-in sheet in the chat again, just in case
Yeah.
you missed earlier, so you guys can
Oh,
get.
I sent it to direct message. My bad.
Thank you guys for coming. I hope we all answered your questions.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully.
Yes. Remember, Discord. I'm on Discord there. You can reach out to me. But that's pretty much it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming and watching this recording. What's up?